Hello, welcome to San Rosa Creations. Today I want to talk to you about making your pattern pieces into an SVG file. SVG files have been something that have really been a game changer for me as a neurodivergent maker. I tend to struggle if a pattern has too many steps, or if, especially like with straight lines or holes, like in um, a wallet that has card slots, that can be kind of difficult for me. SVG files really kind of change that up for me because it allows for straighter lines, and it allows for faster processing times, especially on something like a small wallet, like Lynn's Pocket Pal or Purse Pal. Those are really great SVG patterns to make on. So thank you, Lynn, for providing those SVGs. Um, so let's go ahead and start talking about how to take your pattern pieces and convert them into an SVG file. Just a side note that I do not, personally, when I make SVG files, do not provide like zipper gussets or like large rectangles or large squares as SVG files, just because there is limitations in the sizing of a 12 by 12 mat, or a 12 by 24 mat, or a 24-inch by 24-inch mat. So really it just kind of depends. If you do have any questions, please feel free to, drop a comment, send me an email to estefania@sanrosacreations.com, or to reach out anyway through social media. Let's get started. Okay, to get started, I just wanted to go over a few things. I am assuming that you have your pattern pieces in some sort of vector files. Um, this can be Adobe Illustrator, this can be Affinity, but you need to have them, in that file type. If you do not have it, like let's say you have an image, you can import it into Illustrator and trace that image. But for now, we're just going to talk about, I have my pattern pieces, and my artboard is an 8.5 by 11. So in order to create an SVG file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to make it 12 inches by 12 inches. Now the reason for this is that most cutting machines have a 12 by 12 frame. So this is one artboard, right? And so what I'm going to do, all I have to do is, well, first I need to create a 1-inch tester box. So I'm going to make a square, and then I'm just going to make it. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to view the properties, and right here where it says width times height, I'm going to create my 1-inch square. This is the square that lets the makers know that their pattern is the correct size. And then so next, all I have to do is copy my pattern pieces into the file and just arrange them however I, see fit. The way I organize my files is that I do artboards for each section. So like, let's pretend this is my exterior. I'm going to go to artboard and add an artboard. That's going to give me an artboard of the same size. And I'm going to copy it and paste it. And this is going to be my exterior. You could put some text above it if you wanted to, because it won't be exported the way we're going to export it. So if I wanted to do interior, or I normally do exterior first, so let's do that. So exterior, and then just copy and paste that to interior. Okay. So these are just my artboard pieces. And again, these are just shapes I've chosen. You might need like a couple of squares for your exterior depending on the shape. I will say that I do not include really large rectangles or really large squares as SVGs. I have these included just because, you know, they're examples. Like on my Diet Cutie crossbody bag, you need to have, for the zipper gusset, a I believe it's a 20-inch by 1.5 or 2 inches. I can't remember. And I don't include that in the SVG pattern because obviously that's too big. Some cutting machines do have, like the Cricut will have 12 by 24. So if I wanted to change my artboard to kind of include that, I could. So if I clicked on the right side, so what I did was I went to artboards and then I clicked on the artboard, and that allows me to edit the size of the artboard. And so now that's a 12 by 24. Like I said, the Cricut can do up to a 12 by 24. I just do the 12 by 12 because, you know, not everyone has a 12 by 24 mat. If you have a piece that obviously is longer than 12 by 12, you'd have to use an artboard that is 12 by 24. The other thing I wanted to show you is if you have a piece like this that it's half, you would just need to copy and paste it. And so this is what I was talking about. This one would be too big for my artboard. So I'm just going to click my artboard and I'm going to make it that 12 by 24. Okay, so just to recap, I copied my pattern piece that is half size. Let's pretend that that one has to be cut on the fold. I pasted it and then I made my artboard 12 inches by 24 inches. That allows me to come in and turn it, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste it so that I can have the full piece. Oh, 92, there it goes. And then I'm just going to bring them together, highlight them both, and I'm going to select my Pathfinder and merge them. Ooh, is that going to work? And then I'm going to click my little arrow. I'm going to click the direct selection tool so I can direct select the middle line because I want to erase that middle line. Oh no. Okay, so that's what you have to do. So you have to direct select and erase it and then copy and paste. And then you can merge your pieces together and they're all one piece. All right, so the next part is just saving it. So again, the reason I save it or label it is so I know. So what you'll do is you're just gonna go, oh look, I almost forgot my 1-inch square. Oops, no, that's the wrong one. So I'm just going to click File, Save As to your computer, and you're going to want to do drop down SVG. It asks you to use artboards. You can use artboards and then click all and it'll save each artboard as a file. So you can do that, or you can save one artboard at a time. So if you click range and then one, then that would just save the first artboard and then the second and the third. I'm just going to click all because it's going to save them all to this SVGs for Sewing Untitled. You can name them. It's fine. But now I'm going to go to my Finder and under my SVGs for Sewing, there are my SVGs. So again, I'm going to name them. It didn't do that, but I'm just going to rename like SVG test. Oh, no caps. Test exterior. SVG test interior, and then SVG test name, whatever it is, right? And so you would just label it based on, like, for me, like for my Diacutie pattern, it's like Diacutie exterior, Diacutie interior. That's how I have it labeled. So then you're going to go to your cutting, your whatever, like you obviously want to test it. It just depends on what you have. A lot of people have a Cricut. If you personally, like as a pattern maker, don't have it, then this is something you would have your testers do. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project, and then I'm going to upload. As you can see, I already have one in there, so I'm just going to, okay, let me try one more time because I uploaded the wrong one. I just wanted to make sure I uploaded the ones we just did, not the one I did earlier to practice. All right, here we go. So we'll upload this one. Again, just upload. That one didn't have text, so that's why I didn't do that thing. I'm just going to select it, add it to canvas, and there you go. And as you can see, my 1-inch square matches, right? That is how I know it's all set. Like I said, it gets a little bit more complex when you have more pattern pieces. Again, I would not include something like zipper gussets in an SVG file, just because those can tend to get really long. And like I said, most people have that 12 by 12 mat. You can go up to 24. So like in Silhouette, which I'm also going to test this SVG file in Silhouette, if it'll load. In Silhouette, you can go up to 24 inches by 24 inches. So that is an option in for the Cameos. I'm not sure what the Brothers Scan and Cut settings are. Like, I don't know what sizing they have. Because I personally just use the Silhouette Cameo Pro 4. I kept my Cricut software, but I actually don't have any more Cricuts. All right, so here we go. This one is the 15 by 15 mat. So for the 24 by 24 mat, like I said, that is an option in Silhouette Cameo. And again, I am just testing if I can get it. My camera's in the way. There we go. So I'm going to import it. And then again, oops. As you can see, my 1-inch square matches, and that's how I know that it's the right size. And then when I click to send, it's going to cut those pieces. One thing that I did want to test is this larger piece that we merged together. As you can see, it is merged, and so it will cut as a whole piece. But yeah, so that's how you do SVGs. It's really not that complicated. So again, I imported my pieces into a 12 by 12 inch artboard. I included a 1-inch tester square. You want to make sure you actually click on your pattern pieces and then properties, and you can see the width and height to make sure they are the correct width and height once you have copied and pasted them. You shouldn't really have to merge too many pieces. That is just something I do personally when like a pattern maker doesn't provide an SVG or projector file. I will take the PDF file and then merge pieces in order to create SVG or projector files, because as a pattern maker, you should have, the original shapes and stuff, just depending on, and you don't even have to import all of them. Like, let's say you have like a rectangular shape that is a certain size or a circle that's a certain size. If you don't want to copy and paste it, you could just build it out, right, using the shapes, because that's an option too. But yeah, those are like basic things about SVGs, and my next video will be about how to make a projector file. I'd love to have your feedback. If you find that you would like some more support on making SVG files, please feel free to reach out to me via any of my social media channels, or Estefania at sanrosacreations.com. I'll be happy to work with you on getting some SVGs for your patterns. All right, thanks.